There are places you pass every day without noticing. Places too old, too empty, too forgotten. And sometimes those are the places that notice you. This is the story of a trucker who stopped at a roadside motel and never checked out. If you're brave enough, keep watching. The arrival, it was close to midnight when Daniel's rig broke down on a lonely stretch of highway. No signal, no other cars, just a cracked old sign pointing toward a motel a mile down the road. The sun set in. From the outside, the motel looked abandoned. Faded paint, neon sign flickering, a single light glowing in the office window. Daniel stepped inside, and the air smelled of dust and old wood. Behind the desk, a man in a moth-eaten suit greeted him with a crooked smile. One night, the clerk asked. Daniel nodded. He was too tired to question anything. The clerk slid over a key. Room 6, end of the hall. And as Daniel walked away, he thought he heard the man whisper, "Don't listen to the voices." Part 2. The first night the room was dated, but clean enough. Faded wallpaper, an old rotary phone on the nightstand, a cracked mirror above the sink. Exhausted, Daniel collapsed on the bed. That's when he heard it. A whisper. Soft, almost inside his head. At first he thought it was the wind, but the voice grew clearer, words forming. "Don't stay here. Don't fall asleep." Daniel sat up, heart pounding. The room was empty. He checked under the bed, the closet, even the bathroom. Nothing. But when he returned to the bed, the rotary phone was off the hook, and no one had touched it. Part 3. The hallway at 2:13 a.m. Daniel woke again. This time 2 footsteps in the hall. Slow, dragging like bare feet sliding across the carpet. He opened the door. The hallway was dark except for the dim exit sign at the end. But all the other doors, rooms 1 through 5, were open. Each room was empty. Beds made, lights off, as if no one had stayed there in years. When he reached the end, room 6, his room was also wide open. But he had left it locked. Part 4, the mirror back inside. Daniel tried to convince himself he was dreaming. He splashed water on his face and looked into the cracked mirror, but the reflection wasn't his. It was the clerk, standing behind him, grinning, whispering, "You shouldn't have stayed." Daniel spun around. The room was empty. But when he looked back at the mirror, his reflection was gone. Part 5. The phone call. The rotary phone rang. Daniel lifted the receiver with a shaking hand. Static hissed on the other end. Then a child's voice whispered, "Room 7." Daniel froze. There was no room 7. The motel only had 6 rooms. But when he stepped back into the hallway, there it was. A new door. Dark wood, freshly painted, standing at the very end. The brass number 7. He knew he shouldn't, but something pulled him closer. He turned the handle. Part 6, room 7. The air inside was ice cold. The walls lined with old photographs, hundreds of them, truckers, travelers, families, all smiling. All in front of the sunset inn. Daniel stepped closer and saw one photo at the very end. His own face, taken that very night. The phone rang again. This time, it was inside room 7, he answered. And the clerk's voice whispered, "You've checked in. You won't leave." The next morning, Daniel's truck was found abandoned on the highway. His wallet and keys were still inside. The motel? Police said it had burned down 30 years ago. But travelers still claim to see the neon sign flicker at night, and sometimes they hear whispers on the wind. So if you ever pass the Sunset Inn, don't stop, because once you check in, you'll never check out.